vlog.
Today we are going to talk about ways not to sell your house.
Like if you just want to put your house on the market and for it not to sell, we have some great tips for you. We're going to give you 5 things to do if you don't want your house to sell.
Cheers.
Thanks for shoving the stuff out of the way in the background.
Just
over here
kicked it
and
off
over
to the
there.
side. Oh.
You like to be out of frame.
Actually, I'm in frame, in some new frames. Look at these guys. Look at that, we match. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the video. We look like little school boys and girls. Y'all seen me wearing these and these.
These are the ones Cullen's had for a hot minute.
They're awesome.
They're from Barner and they're blue light glasses, which is the awesome thing. It blocks the blue light from like your phone or your computer screen or whatever, which has been shown to affect all kinds of things.
Mood swings.
Difficulty sleeping and all that stuff. So they're really great. And previously blue light glasses have been ugly and like weird looking, but they made these new stylish options. You can get them with prescription, without, whatever, but they're really great. So
and very comfortable.
Oh my gosh.
Like I put them on and I don't even feel like I'm wearing them.
When I got these, after I've been wearing the ones, like my regular ones that y'all saw me buy a couple months ago, I was like, oh my gosh, like this weighs nothing. They're so comfortable and soft. Check them out, Barner. We got a link below for you guys with a discount as well. So check them out if you're interested.
Thanks for sending them.
They're definitely helpful.
Yes.
Thanks, Barner.
Today we are going to talk about ways not to sell your house.
We have some great tips for you. We have experience with that. In our life, in this video, in our channel, we like to share with y'all the things that we have learned. And one thing we have learned is the way to let your house just sit on the market and not sell.
I don't want y'all to make the same mistakes we've made.
Oh yeah, that's right. We didn't want them to actually.
Yeah. Our failures are your opportunity.
I feel like that's my goal in life right now is to like help people not make the mistakes that I've made in my life. There's several things along the way that we've realized that we could have done differently from the beginning of selling our house, things that we did wrong. I mean, not necessarily wrong, but they just didn't work out well and things we've learned from that. So we wanted to share those with y'all.
I want my kids to grow up and say, my dad was so wise. His wisdom was abundant.
I thought you were about to say the opposite.
No, I want them to say that.
I thought you were gonna have them say like, my dad made so many mistakes that I learned so much because my parents screwed up everything.
Well, I think that's where wisdom comes from.
Oh,
is
okay,
from
okay.
failing and experiences and stuff like that. And you don't realize that until you do get older, because as you're growing up, you're like, wow, they figured this out. They're the smartest people in the world.
There you go. So the little quick background is we listed our house in July of 2019. So it has been 8 months, a little bit over 8 months since we first listed our house. And we weren't in a huge hurry to sell. We knew financially we needed to sell. Personally, we wanted to downsize, didn't want this much house. And so we weren't in a huge hurry. We just kind of just did it. We were like, okay, let's sell our house. We sold our last house that was a $270,000 house, which is like prime range if everybody wants to buy it really quickly. And so we were like, we'll just do all those things, but there's a whole different market for our $650,000 house.
Yeah.
We kept our same realtor for a while. We had an offer on our house in October that we accepted. So we had a contingent contract. It was contingent on our buyers selling their house. They did not sell their house, and so that contract fell through in December. We got new realtors and relisted in January and have had a whole different experience and learned a lot in the process, and we're kind of still waiting. We have had a lot more interest and some potential buyers.
Yes.
Sort of. We're going to give you 5 things to do if you don't want your house to sell. And then we'll tell you what you could possibly do to help your house actually sell.
We can't really talk about it yet because we haven't sold our house.
We'll just tell you the 5 things that we did wrong. And so we'll start off with that one. Doing your research on the realtor.
The realtor and seeing, you know, kind of what we did is we actually, when we had our house contingent in December, we found another house, started following that company that they're...
So like the realtor that was selling the house we put an offer in on.
Yes.
Started following along their real estate page just because, you know, we're buying a
Any
house from
business
them.
these days should have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or some type of social media, you would think. And I don't think our old realtor did, but this one did, so we started following them. And then we started seeing all these live videos, all these giveaways, all these updates, all these videos in front of the house saying it's about to be listed, and
they're constantly posting like every other day. This house is under contract. We had this one under contract in 24 hours. We just sold this one. So-and-so just bought this one. They're out there promoting their stuff. So just by following along on another page, we kind of saw the difference in, I guess, more current marketing type.
It's 2020.
Because I think a lot of marketing for your house is not just marketing your house. Like Dave Ramsey said on our call, who's like selling 30 to 50 houses a year, they're gonna be posting a lot about that. They're gonna be sharing more content, so more people are gonna see in general, you know, the network of connections that you develop through social media. So as you're looking for a realtor, the first suggestion would be don't just Google like top 10 realtors in my area. Or if you wanna do that, that's fine. Find their social pages. If they don't have one, check them off the list and don't consider them. Then start following several of them before you list your house and just kind of see what vibe you get from people, how you feel about the way that they present things, their attitude, their personality. See who you feel like you're gonna click with.
The next thing we did wrong is overpriced our house. So like you said, we weren't in a hurry.
We weren't, and we were just kind of
like spitballed it.
Let's just see what we can get. It's been about a little over 2 years since we bought our house. Consider what we bought it for, and then we've added like $20,000 master bathroom renovation. That takes it up a little bit, and then we were
painted
like,
all the rooms.
let's just add in $30,000 more on top of that. Like, I don't know what we're thinking. When our realtor came and brought us like comparable houses, because that's an important thing to look at. So like, don't just pick a number out of thin air based on what you think it's worth. She brought in comparable houses and we looked at them, and we were comparing the prices that comparable houses sold for based on square footage, location.
We're like, oh, that's the same size house, 5 bedrooms, 4
baths. Look, it looks kind of like ours.
It's got the same,
okay. And then this one sold for way more than ours, and it's only like, you know, 500 square feet more. So, you know, we should be good. Then after we had listed it and weren't getting much traction for a while, I looked online at their pictures. Oh, dang, they have like a brand new deck with a hot tub in the back, brand new kitchen appliances.
Elevator.
Yeah, like just all this stuff. So the square footage may have been the same, but the features of the home were definitely different than ours. If you're in a hurry, I would say as you're looking at comparable houses, price like a little bit below that. Don't try to say, well, this one sold for this much. We could maybe get a little bit more.
Unfortunately, what we've learned through this process, by overpricing it, made us knock it off as far as reducing the price below market value now, because it's just, nobody's even, I mean, it's just like, and then we've talked about in past videos about taking it off the market to get it renewed.
It didn't initially even bring in interest because it was way overpriced, and because we were putting ourselves in a whole different price bracket, and the longer a house sits, the more people start to go like, oh dang, there must be something wrong with it. If they're having to drop the price this much, there's definitely something wrong with it.
But there's nothing wrong with our house. We just are stupid.
Can't say for sure, but had we originally priced it appropriately or even a little bit below,
I think we would have had a bigger difference. We probably wouldn't have had to change realtors.
Right,
you know,
right,
like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I don't know. Okay, so we've got our research on the realtor, we've got our research on the price.
Appropriate price.
So now let's pull up to that house. What's the first thing that we didn't do when somebody pulled up to our house?
We did not focus on the outside enough by any means.
Well, like the house will sell itself. Who cares? We bought it when it looked like a freaking jungle out there. Why wouldn't somebody else?
Exactly. And of course you can think that, and maybe there would be somebody who'd buy it for that. But if you're wanting to sell your house quickly and not let it sit there for too long, you want to make a good presentation. What was the thing you said? The first 10 seconds or something, people make their decision?
Typically, yeah, something I was reading was the first 10 seconds when somebody pulls up, and we've actually even got security cameras outside, and we heard somebody pull up and didn't.
I texted the realtor, I'm like, I just got a notification somebody pulled in the driveway, but nobody went in the front door. Is everything good?
Yeah, and so they said that they didn't like the color of the brick. Now that's a big,
that would be a big undertaking. Right? Big, but that just shows how important appearance is. We focus mainly on the inside because we're like, that's the most important part of a house. Somebody can come in and totally redo the outside landscaping if they want to, but like, who wants to do that? Why would we think people would want to do that? One thing I hadn't even noticed myself really, or I had kind of noticed but didn't really do anything about it, is our garage doors were really dirty because we had just come out of like spring. Lots of pollen, it rains, and so like dirt splashes up on the garage doors. Nobody's gonna go, ooh, I'm not buying this because those garage doors are dirty. But that might make people translate to like, oh, well, if they don't clean this and their garage doors are this nasty, they probably don't take care of anything in their house.
It's almost like, in the mentality was like, you don't realize how dirty it is until you start cleaning one. You know, you wipe one and then, but you would have never known it was that dirty but you don't know how clean it is until you actually clean it. And you're like, why didn't we do this sooner? Kind of like with pressure washing the driveway. You want it to look easily maintainable.
Especially when there is new construction around.
Wreath on the door, get a bunch of flowers in the flower pots.
Don't leave empty flower pots. Like, make sure all the little crap that gets left outside is picked up and straightened up. And think about when you're driving through your neighborhood and you see, like, you know the people who, like, they've got their everything exactly perfect.
The beautification award.
The beautification award house. You kind of assume, like, dang, those people have their crap together and they probably take really good care of their house. But you drive by somebody's house who has weeds and their grass is this high and there's just bushes all everywhere. Oh, dang, like, I wonder what the inside looks like.
Fourth thing we did wrong was take out way too much stuff.
Decluttered way too much.
We went hard on Marie Kondo.
Yes, we were seriously in the mindset of this is gonna sell really fast. So if we're decluttering and cleaning up anyway, let's just pack up everything. I think you also have to consider your particular house, the size of your house, and all of that in this. At our old house, it wasn't a small house, but it was smaller based on the fact that we had way too much crap.
Yeah.
We needed to take out the majority of little knickknacks and decorations that made it just look too just junky. But in this house, it's a lot larger. And so when you take out all the stuff, it doesn't look lived in.
It looks cold in a sense. And I think our realtor had friends come through, our first one come through on one of the open houses and said that it just kind of felt cold. And after every showing, we've actually like started just like
for whatever, we're gonna leave this out.
Oh, I thought you were talking about in the video. I was like, no, I'm leaving this in the video.
No.
I was like, I'm not cutting this out. We're actually like putting stuff, we're going back down in the basement and getting stuff back out. Like I've hung the lights back up on the back porch. We put the rugs back out.
We took up several rugs. And that just makes it echoey and
it was like, hello. We took out like half of our winter clothes, all of our winter clothes in our closet. And feedback on some of the showings that's like, they already moved out, or like, is the wife already moved out? What?
Like the first open house, she said that they were like, wait, are they like, have they already moved into a different house? And it was just like, no, they're just ready to get out of here. We packed up way too much stuff. I think even kids' artwork on the fridge and all that. Obviously, you want to declutter your fridge because you probably don't realize you have a whole lot of crap on there. So for pictures, I made sure all that was taken off and there was nothing like that. But then as time has gone on, I'm like, okay, whatever. They both have a little picture they painted on the fridge. I don't really care. I'm gonna leave it there.
You got your birthday balloons from last weekend still hanging up in the room on a thing. And
previously we would have taken all of that.
I think we left a balloon actually on the ceiling the other day for a showing.
I didn't even know until we came back home and I was like, oh, what is
leaving like a little setup outside on the porch, we took that up, like showing that you can eat on the porch. Like we just wanted it to look like an open, and that's the gray area, I guess, is some people like to see like an empty, at least for me when I'm scrolling through online, if I see like an empty house move in ready, I'm like, oh dang, okay, we can put the couch there, we can put this there.
And I don't visualize like that. So for those, when I see them, I'm like, oh, this looks like a nice big open space, but I have no idea where I'd put my couch. One thing I saw, there's actually a show on TLC right now, Unsellable Houses. It was really interesting. It was a fairly small house, but it was open concept. So like the kitchen went straight into the den. There's a tiny bit of space in between and the people didn't have anything there because they just like ate at their island. The people that came in to stage it put a little table kind of up against a wall in that area. My first thought was like, oh, they're junking it up more and you want it to look bigger and more open. But they were talking about how somebody might come in and be like, oh, well, there's no place for a kitchen table in here, so I guess we don't want this house, and leave because they can't visualize it. But if you see that, you go, oh, I see, you could put a table here. And we used to have a table out there, a table and chairs to like eat. But then we thought, well, I mean, it'd make it look like the porch is just so much bigger. But that would show like, oh, look, you can have your family dinner out here on the porch. And
come out here and drink a cup of coffee while you're watching the golfers go by. Like, we should have just done that. And I think I've already sold that furniture on Facebook Market.
Yeah.
So it's like, dang it.
Previously, we took all the toys out and all that stuff, but it's like, you know, we have to live here. I don't like when you see that like McDonald's commercial and the people look so happy eating their burgers that makes you go, I'll be happy if I eat a burger too. Yeah. Lastly, something that we really didn't consider at all was the environment in the house. Kind of mentioned just now making it feel warm with the rugs and the things that are in there. So many of y'all recommended like baking brownies or some baked good that smells really good before somebody comes in. We had done candles and plug-ins and all that because we thought, well, that'll make it just smell fresh. But not everybody likes those kinds of smells. Some people like get a migraine from a candle. I personally don't like
that vanilla.
I do not like vanilla. I would come in and be like, oh, gross, I just do not like this. But that's obviously you're not gonna walk in and go, I'm not buying this house because it smells like vanilla, but you just initially get like a vibe that isn't,
a bad taste
you know,
in your mouth.
it just
it's like,
isn't
oh, that's
exactly.
the vanilla bean house. I don't like that one.
But I'm pretty sure there's not too many people out there that don't love the smell of like fresh cooked brownies or fresh baked cookies.
With some music playing on your Amazon Echo or whatever in the background. That was another thing we started adding to the showings. Have a movie on mute in the TV, on the TV in the playroom.
So this one's really weird, and I've never heard anybody else doing this, so I have no idea if this is actually effective. Like we said, we have outdoor security cameras, so we would like get a notification somebody pulled up, and you kind of see like what's happening. And we saw a couple people coming in with kids, and we were like, oh man, I hope their kids don't like drive them crazy, because we think about ourselves walking through the house. One day our kids were watching a movie right before we left, and I was like, oh, what if we just like left a movie playing in the playroom, so if somebody's kids are here, they can just watch a movie while the parents are, you know, talking or looking at the house. If I was going to a house, I would be like, oh, this is great. Y'all go sit in there and see how it is.
Toys we left out downstairs, like with the ball pit and gymnastics mats and stuff.
So as we were like thinking about how to make the environment feel not just welcoming, but usable. Previously, our basement, we had, when you walk down the stairs, all the stuff, crap that we took down and things we had packed up, were basically just right there.
And initially my thought was like, I want to leave the garage door spaces open so they can see like two cars pulled in. But when you walk downstairs and you open the door, the first thing you see is just a stack of boxes.
And so you initially feel a little claustrophobic. At one point, there was also plumbing a bathroom downstairs. So I was like, you know, people can't even see that that's there, and that it would be easy to refinish this area. So I was like, let's just move all the boxes. So like right in front of the garage door, that when you walk in, you're like, dang, this is a big basement.
It looks a lot bigger now.
Look, there's plumbing for a bathroom that you can do. It also gives people the idea of like, even if this basement isn't finished, you can still make this a play area for the kids, even if we don't have the money to refinish it.
And recently we even got some feedback, like love the huge basement.
It looks usable and not just like a storage space. Several of y'all might have followed our whole brownie saga of like starting to try to cook brownies, and then the timing wasn't right, and then it was the people that didn't come in because they didn't like the color of the brick. Several of y'all recommended that Walmart has these little wax melts things, the ones that are called like vanilla cookie. I hate the smell of vanilla candles. These things literally smell like cupcakes, vanilla cupcakes baking in your oven.
We literally baked them in our oven. So we don't even use a warmer.
We have a warmer.
We have a warmer,
but it didn't smell enough.
We were like, we need more cookies.
Somebody gave us this tip of putting some tinfoil in like a little dish and putting it in your oven, and then it smells it up fine even without opening it. But then before we leave for a little bit, we'll open the door, and we've done it some even when people aren't here, because it just smells so yummy, and it smells like, oh, somebody's been cooking in here, makes you feel homey.
Another thing was turn on all the lights. We've done that every time.
Lights.
Turn on all the lights, turn off all the fans.
Lights, everything.
Make it as bright as possible.
Close the toilet seats. Nobody wants to think about your poop being in there. Empty the trash cans.
Take out all the cat toys and cat food and cat trees and stuff like that. Toys out in the yard. We used to like get the little mini trampoline and put it up and get all the little basketballs and stuff. Now we clean them up and organize them, but we don't hide them now. We leave it out there to show that this is usable space. The chalk downstairs on the other driveway, they had like chalk art that we were drawing with one weekend. We just left it.
Previously we would have washed it off, but it just shows how you can utilize it. It's hard to visualize. Is there enough room for a trampoline here? I'm not sure. We haven't stressed too much about putting that stuff up anymore.
And then I would say don't cook tacos the night before.
Or fish.
Or fish or something like that.
Don't do that.
Boiled eggs. Don't heat you up a boiled egg before you leave.
Don't crack open that thing. No tuna. Don't do it.
These are things to not do, and we're acting like we've sold our house, but we haven't, so I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Maybe you do want to hose off the chalk down on the driveway. I don't know.
Maybe so. Well, I mean, I think our experience we're speaking from is that we have gotten a lot more interest in people actually leaving showings and following up with interest. Who knows if it's helped or what?
We won't even get on the appliances and all that kind of stuff. We've already kind of talked about all that. Y'all go check out our old videos. That does it for this. Do not do these things. Things to not do to sell your house.
Things to do if you want your house to not sell. Leave us a comment below if you have any other tips and tricks, suggestions that have worked for you or not worked for you.
Things that haven't worked for you.
Let us know what you think.
And hopefully we'll have some good news here soon.
Hopefully.
With the market picking back up, interest rates are at an all-time low.
Somebody buy the house.
Don't let coronavirus keep you inside. Come look at our house.
We'll clean it real good.
Thanks for watching, and we will see you later.
Bye. Bye.